Hello, Giant Steppers. Welcome to this series on rhythm changes, and this is the third episode, of course. I hope you watched the first two episodes. One was on YouTube for free, and the second one was accessible to all my patrons. And now we're getting to the third episode, which is only accessible to you, my patrons at the highest level. Coming right up. So first of all, of course, I want to thank all of you for supporting me at this level. You're the biggest part of the reason that I can continue with the channel, because without the support, it wouldn't be possible. And if you didn't watch the first two episodes, there's links to those episodes in the description. Now, in this episode, I'm gonna walk you through the PDF that is included with this episode, only accessible to you, and show you a little bit what I did with the color coding and how it works. And of course, I will demonstrate to you all the phrases that are new. And I won't spend too much time explaining how you can use them or how you should practice the phrases, because it's the same process as the previous video. So if you want to have more tips on how to work with the phrases, then watch the previous episode and episode 1. So when you download the PDF, you get a document in which each phrase is coded, color coded, and there's some letters, numbers in front of the phrases. For example, this first phrase, it says P1 in red. That means that this phrase is in episode 2 of the series, because the P stands for Patreon, and then it's the first video on Patreon, so P1, which is the second episode of the series. And then there's another P1. So if you want to see me play the phrase, want a reminder, you can go to the video. Then there is a YT, it's green. That stands for YouTube, right? This phrase is in the first video, the free video on YouTube in episode 1. And then there's another P1, right? The first video on Patreon. And then there is a P1 again. And then there is a YT. And then there's a P2, which is this video, the second video on Patreon. So let's just get started with this phrase. It's a tricky one. It actually starts in the second bar. That's why the first bar is red. And there's a double bar line. That means that is a up bar and should be played in the 8th bar of a previous section. So either a previous A or the 8th bar of a bridge. So let me play the phrase starting in the second bar on this B flat, on the 8th fret, and it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me play that first for you, and then I'll explain the first bar. Now, if you want to play the up bar, you have to start in the 8th bar of a previous section. So then it would sound like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So if I would demonstrate it with a backing track, I have to start in the count in, because the count in is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have to start in that bar. 1, 2, 1. And I have to start, if I want to play it in the second A, for example, I have to start on the 4th bar of the 8th bar of the first A, or I have to start it in the 8th bar of the bridge. So let me play it on a complete chorus, and I won't play in response, so to make very clear when this phrase starts. 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7, 8. Bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh. miscounted somewhere in the bridge, but I still played it in the correct spot when I was listening. So let me try it one more time. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It works like that. It's pretty tricky to time it if you want to play the up bar, but it's definitely possible. But otherwise, you could just start in the second bar. Let's find the next one. It's a P1. It's a P1, and here's a P2 again. Starts in the first bar. Just there's no up bar. It sounds like this. One. So there's 3 bars, 3 beats rest. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Ending on the first beat of the 5th bar. 3, 4, 1, 2. So let me play that with a backing track. I'll play some response. Really nice, a little bit bluesy. It almost sounds like it's B flat minor in the beginning, but it's just bluesy. Okay, YT, P2, here's another one. This starts with a G minor triad from that category within the question phrases. Sounds like this. 3, 4, 1. 1, 2. I played it with backing track. Not that difficult. Okay, P1. And here is a, oh yeah, very difficult. A P2 phrase sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. The difficult thing is to hit the 4th note in all the arpeggios down. It's just difficult to pull off. Probably difficult if you are, doesn't matter if you're alternate picking or gypsy picking. In alternate picking you have to play down, up on different strings, and by gypsy picking you have to do down, up, down, down. It's pretty difficult because it's on 4 different strings. What you could also do is skip the 4th note of all those arpeggios and play. That sounds fine too. So let me demonstrate both ways. I also find it hard to play all 4 notes, but you can either play 3 notes, or you could play some of them with 3 notes and others with 4, or you could just do 4 notes and do the best you can, and if you miss a note, it's not that important. Then you have played 3 notes. Okay, here's another P2. Okay, so here also the first bar here is an up bar. There should be a double bar line after the first bar. I will fix that for the PDF that you can download. So actually the second bar is the first beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? 3, 4. Tricky. 3, 4. Making some rhythmical mistake. Let me see. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's difficult to find the beat here. You have to end on the 1 on the G sharp, and sometimes it doesn't work. That's it. So keep that G sharp as a target note. 1, 2, 3, 4. And play with the backing track. Maybe it would help if you play a hammer on or pull off to the G sharp. Let me see. Still pretty hard to pull off. Let me try it once. This is a hard one to get in your ears. It kind of seems, to me at least, it seems kind of illogical. But when you play it correct, it sounds great. So definitely want to practice, but maybe not the first lick you should learn. Okay, here's another P2. This is another pretty tricky one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Three, 4, 1. Now those double stop things, for me it's just he's playing some kind of variation on. So just moving chromatically from to a B flat. So it's actually C6 to B flat 6, but it's just going to B flat 6 and then finding some kind of rhythmical variation. You can do it in any way you want, of course. So let me play it for the backing track and then also try to vary the way I play the chords. just a hard phrase to play, just hard to get the right articulation. You will notice that when you practice it. Okay, now we're in the miscellaneous category. Here's another P2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Doable. Let's the backing track. Cool. Okay, now we get to answer phrases. P1, YT, P1, P2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2. Sorry, 3, 4, 1, 2. So this begin. What it says here is 1, 2. But you can be free with the rhythm there. That's a perfect little phrase to be free with the rhythms. So let me play it with the backing track and play it like it says here the first time, and then maybe change the rhythms a little bit. Also a bit tricky. So you see in this episode I left all the tricky phrases. They're beautiful phrases, but they're not the easiest to play. B1, B2. Oh, this is an easy one. From the scalar responses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then actually the next one is very similar. So let me just play that 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're the same. Only in the first one it starts different. Like 1, 2. Or. So let me play both with the backing track. What I'm gonna play as a question phrase. I'll play one. I'll play this one from this episode. One more time. S1, YT. B1, YT, B1, miscellaneous, B1. Okay, then we get to the complete phrases. There was one in the first one is P2, and there was one, I think, in YT. Oh, there's two P2s, so let me get to the complete phrases. So again, these are phrases that just the question and answer kind of belong together, but of course you could break them up. But I feel like you should practice these things together. So the first one sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. Sorry. That's the fingering. Ignore what I did before. Then we'll do it one more time slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, so let me play with the backing track. Very cool phrase. Of course, you recognize this. That it's also a response phrase, but now it starts like that as a question, and it has a different response. And then the last phrase for this video, this one, very nice. Sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the second 4 bars that I already played. Play it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can play either to a D flat or to a D or a D, and play it with a backing track. So now I was just improvising a little bit with all the phrases. I also played some stuff that was not in this series per se, but I was just playing ideas that are in these phrases, or just playing some B flat stuff or some F7 stuff intermixed with everything that's in this PDF. And that's of course the point. You don't want to play only these phrases, you want to play more phrases that you already know, other stuff that you've practiced on rhythm changes. Maybe you watched my first video on rhythm changes, the one that I made like last year, which is on YouTube. I will link it also. And then the mix of that will create an interesting solo. So that's the point of it. Again, if you have questions, let me know. And my next series will probably be about the early Django on rhythm changes, which is completely different, very interesting. I'm working on it right now. And then before that, maybe I will do another video on chord stuff, and I will try to split it in two as well. So one for YouTube and then one for Patreon. And I hope I will see you in one of those videos. Bye.